NASCAR's 2023 season is almost starting, and recently, NASCAR's made some changes in the rules that will play a huge role for the new season. In this video, we will be explaining everything you need to know before watching NASCAR. One of the most insane moves made by Ross Chastain in the history of motorsport racing will get some changes during the 2023 season. Chastain drove into the Turn 3 wall and rode it around the track at a higher speed than the rest of the field, passing 5 cars in the final 2 turns to gain enough spots to make the championship race. NASCAR allowed the move to stand even though some competitors had asked for a rule change leading into the season finale at Phoenix last year. With many people asking for a rule change and the move itself being quite dangerous, NASCAR have decided to change the rules for such a move. The rule states, safety is a top priority for NASCAR and NEM. Therefore, any violations deemed to compromise the safety of an event or otherwise pose a dangerous risk to the safety of competitors, officials, spectators, or others are treated with the highest degree of seriousness. Safety violations will be handled on a case-by-case basis. NASCAR stated that the penalty for such a maneuver would be a lap or a time penalty. Chastain said he's fine with being known for that move, which will never be repeated in NASCAR history. I'm proud that I've been able to make a wave that will continue beyond just 2022 or just beyond me, Chastain told NBC Sports earlier this month about the move's legacy. There will probably be a day that people will learn about me because of that, and I'm good with that. I'm proud of it. I don't think it will ever happen again. I don't think it will ever pay the reward that it paid off for us that it did that day. I hope I'm around in 35 years to answer someone's question about it, and I probably still won't have a good answer on why it worked. The video of Chastain's wall-hugging maneuver had 12.5 million views on the NBC Sports TikTok account within a week of it happening. Excluding the Olympics, the only other video that had more views on the NBC Sports TikTok account to that point in 2022 was Rich Strike's historic Kentucky Derby win. Formula One drivers Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, and Daniel Ricciardo all praised Chastain's move at the time, joining a chorus of competitors throughout social media. It pretty much went viral everywhere. Maybe the Formula One drivers are going to try this move during a Grand Prix as well. Now, in this video, we will mainly explain some of the rule changes, but the move from Chastain isn't the only thing getting adjusted. Let me explain this since there's a lot of changes for the 2023 season. NASCAR updated its policy on a loose wheel. Previously, if a wheel came off a car during an event, it would be a 4-race suspension for the crew chief and 2 pit crew members. That has changed this year. If a wheel comes off a car while the vehicle is still on pit road, the vehicle restarts at the tail end of the field. If a wheel comes off a vehicle while it's on pit road under green flag conditions, it's a pass-through penalty. Any vehicle that loses a wheel on the track will be penalised 2 laps and have 2 pit crew members suspended for 2 races. The suspensions will go to those most responsible for the wheel coming off. This change takes away a suspension to the crew chief. The policy is the same for Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. With some pit crew members working multiple series, the suspension is only for that series. So, if a pit crew member is suspended 2 races in the Xfinity series for a wheel coming off, they can still work the Cup race the following day. The damaged vehicle policy clock will be 7 minutes this season. It has been 6 minutes last year and was increased to 10 minutes during the playoffs. After talking with the teams, NASCAR has settled on 7 minutes for teams to make repairs on pit road or be eliminated. Teams can replace toe links on the pit road, but not control arms. Teams also are not permitted to have specialized repair tools in the pits. NASCAR will have a wet weather package for select oval tracks: the Clash at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, Lucas Oil Raceway Park, Martinsville, Milwaukee, New Hampshire, North Wilkesboro, Phoenix, and Richmond. Elton Sawyer, Senior Vice President of Competition for NASCAR, said that teams have been told to show up at these events prepared for wet weather conditions as they would at a road course. That includes having a windshield wiper. Wet weather tyres will be available. Our goal here is to get back to racing as soon as possible, Sawyer said. If there's an opportunity for us to get some cars or trucks on the racetrack and speed up that track drying process and we can get back to racing, that's what our goal is. We don't want to be racing in full-blown rain at those tracks, and we've got spray like we would on a road course. Well, we've already explained some rule changes, but there's still a lot more to come. Stay tuned. NASCAR stated that it's removing the requirements that a winning driver has to be in the top 30 for points in the Cup Series or top 20 in Xfinity or trucks to become eligible for the playoffs. As long as a driver is competing full-time or has a waiver for the races they missed, a win will make them playoff eligible. With the consultation of drivers, NASCAR is expanding the restart zone to give the leader more room to take off. NASCAR said it will evaluate it to keep this in place after the Atlanta race in March. They stated the choose rule will be in effect for super speedways and dirt races. During a briefing with reporters at its Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina on Tuesday, NASCAR officials said that they would end the artificial caution break at the conclusion of stages at all road course events in 2023, except for the standalone events, Portland and Road America in Xfinity, Trucks at Mid-Ohio. Those events will keep stage breaks because they also have non-competitive pit stops in which the field pits together and positions cannot be gained or lost, provided the stop is completed in a designated time. In the races without breaks, points will still be awarded following the conclusion of the final lap in the stage, but there will be no break in the racing. Sawyer called the change probably the most significant of the 2023 season. After a lot of collaboration within the industry and with fans and teams, when we introduced stage breaks several years ago, we took an element of strategy away from the event, he said. We felt that this would bring some new storylines, give folks something to talk about. Among other changes made for the 2023, NASCAR has eliminated the 5-minute clock in qualifying, which allowed teams up to 5 minutes to take to the track for their attempt. Teams will now get up to 1 minute or after the next vehicle. Safety issues will be dealt with case by case. So, with all the changes for the 2023 season, which driver will make the best use of this? Let's take a look. After an eventful 2022 season, NASCAR is just a few days away from returning. The introduction of the next-gen cars saw the 2022 season have a staggering 19 different winners, setting the stage for an exciting 2023 season. The 2023 NASCAR Cup Series comes with some interesting storylines, including the introduction of new full-time drivers such as Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs, as well as the return of 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson, and the return of North Wilkesboro Speedway after 27 years. We will also see NASCAR hit the streets of Chicago for its first ever street course race. With the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series clash at the Coliseum starting within a few days, let's discuss some early predictions for the 2023 season. It's no surprise that Chase Elliott is the early championship favourite, even though he's been the lowest finisher in the championship 4 in each of the last 2 years. The 2020 champion is the only driver who has advanced to the winner-take-all round in each of the last 3 years. And in the first season of the next-gen car last year, he led the series in wins, points, average finish, and laps led. He didn't lead any of those categories in his championship season. There were several races he could have won last year that he didn't. The same can be said for a number of drivers in a chaotic opening series for the Gen 7 machine. The fact that there were a record 19 different winners, including 4 who weren't in the playoffs, proves just how hard it was to pin down who was going to contend from week to week. What is surprising, however, is the fact that there are 8 drivers with the same or better odds than reigning champion Joey Logano. Sure, Logano has only gotten to the championship 4 in even years, but the way he performed down the stretch in 2022, including an absolutely dominant effort in the championship race, indicates that he wants to end that trend. No driver has won back-to-back titles since Jimmy Johnson won 5 in a row from 2006 to 2010. It is also a bit surprising to see so many drivers who compete for decent teams, such as Austin Dillon, Justin Haley, and Eric Almirola, listed with the same odds as drivers who compete for teams that are generally backmarkers, such as BJ McLeod and Cody Ware. McLeod isn't even a full-time driver, and Ware hasn't even been formally announced as part of the 2023 lineup. The 2023 season is looking very promising, and we're just a few days away from the season starting. What are your predictions for the 2023 season? Let me know in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe.